might be able to throw some curveballs at him.
Absolutely. This is a case where New Zealand, of course, they are more of an unknown quantity. And for Team USA, if they underestimate them, it could be their doom. But Hex, not only are we physically in LA right now, we are also going to sunny Hollywood.
Very fitting. One of my favorite maps. We are in Hollywood here and in California. I always like to see the sunshine on the screen. And do you think this might favor USA? We talk a little bit about USA and mostly the region electing to run Pharmacy, a good map for running a Pharah and a Mercy combination.
The one thing about this Team USA team is that they are very versatile. They have multiple tricks up their sleeve. We'll see what they throw at New Zealand here to begin with, but you know, talking with Team USA, they're out here to make a statement. They don't just want to win, they want to dominate.
Absolutely, and I think that's what the home crowd here expects. This crowd, it's been fantastic to see filling up here. Right now, USA will be on the attack first. Defending will be Team New Zealand. Team New Zealand did tell us a little bit that they like to run a little slower strategy, not necessarily the ultra-mobile, highly aggressive dive compositions, but it does seem like they're running something like that now on defense EP.
Now you take a look at Team USA. This is interesting. They're not coming out here in more of your standard dive. They're coming up in a triple tank formation. And what do we see here but Sinatra going to be coming in on the Zarya?
Sinatra, one of the absolute best Zaryas in the entire world. Mostly just how well he plays it allows him to get his ultimate ability up so quickly. And Graviton is a fight-defining ultimate.
Well, the first fight already underway. Team USA just getting directly onto the point, pushing New Zealand back into the cafe area. And what we see from USA right now, they are dominating space. They already have almost 2 ticks, and they're pushing New Zealand back.
New Zealand not even in fighting condition right now. What is with Sinatra? He's at 99% on the charge. How does this man do it? He's an absolute magician on the Zarya, and the Zarya is such a great addition to these rosters because it counters the Diva.
And this was just effortless by Team USA. They're going to clean up New Zealand and take the first point.
Not only did they clean them up, but you start looking at all they gained through that just based on ultimate percentages going forward. Sinatra already nearing that Graviton. Jake has already used a Pulse Bomb, and this is the kind of situation that can really lead itself to snowballing forward.
Absolutely. I mean, we like to talk about how good Sinatra is at building his ultimate charge. He almost has that Graviton surge up. He's at 93%. He will have it for the next fight, and this is dangerous for New Zealand. USA might be building some serious momentum here.
Absolutely. They're going to be able to use whatever they want. They've got a whole lot at their disposal here, and Sinatra now comes online with that Graviton. New Zealand has to know that this is going to be online. They took a lot of that damage from Zarya. They need to spread out and play around it.
And Sinatra now looking for the right way to throw this in. Doesn't want to throw it into the defensive matrix, but here we have Will X into the back line. 2 kills here from New Zealand. They're striking right back. And Sinatra, you just got to hold on to that Graviton surge this time.
They absolutely needed that fight. The individual play from Willix slows down the United States, and you have to have those stabilizing fights to stop that snowball from growing, to stop the momentum. Now you can reset, take a breath, nerves are starting to dissipate.
And again, you look at New Zealand right now, they do have options here for the next fight. Sure, the United States might have the Graviton surge, but the EMP could be crucial in this next fight.
You can't use Graviton if you're EMP, so Sign, if he can find a good way in here to start off this fight and get the cleanup, Grav comes out.
Graviton comes in, and the USA diving right in. 3-2 in USA's favor here as they look to take this fight in their favor. Jake, still alive, working around the back line, darting back and forth, getting the consistent damage that he needs, and Team USA, it's looking like they've struck right through.
Sign did use his EMP during that. Of course, not all the abilities available. He didn't get everyone in it, and the United States got the majority of those kills, even though Sign with some individual play grabbed a couple. United States now going to stagger their ultimates. Will have a sound barrier or primal rage to start this next fight.
Well, the great thing here for the United States is that they can open up with the sound barrier and really set the engagement on their own terms. Jake, already in the back line, being a huge distraction, making New Zealand look to 2 fronts. They can't get through the front door, and they're getting attacked from the back, and that's going to be huge. And oh my goodness, USA, they get the point!
There needs to be a more aggressive engagement from New Zealand, but in the counterpoint, United States is taking space away. We saw it on the first point, they push him through the doorway. You see it on the second point, pushing him through the doorway. New Zealand's having a very difficult time finding entry because the United States is blocking these doors.
Well, they're blocking the doors, and Jake being the distraction in the back. New Zealand, they lost sight of the point, and they gave it up, and they could have done a little bit more than contested, and now the United States, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, X. This is a great time.
They've also done an excellent job of using the ultimates in the right time and moment, staggering them throughout as they are going to have a couple combinations going forward. We saw New Zealand win the one fight off the back of Willix's blade. He's got that blade up again.
Willix right now certainly needs to give New Zealand a little bit of stability. We'll see if he can do it. But meanwhile, you have Jake in the back, still being the distraction. Legabro was engaging, taken down by Sinatra at USA. Not flashy, but very effective. They're going to go with the Transcendence, and that's going to neutralize neutralize a lot here from Willex, but will be enough.
Willex is able to take down Jake, who's been such a problem for them. Jake has, I don't think, even died this entire game. They will end up getting a couple kills traded back and forth off the back of the United States tanks. And though the DPS showed up for New Zealand, not enough, as Sinatra continues to run wild, has another grab ready.
This is why Sinatra built ultimate so quickly. He's so deadly in that Zarya, and now has what could be the cleanup Graviton. United States leading their way to victory. He's going to drop the Graviton, gets Willex, and the United States, they're almost there.
Sinatra, largely known as a tracer player, but those skill sets transfer over. The tracking, a desperation sound barrier towards the end is going to keep New Zealand alive and in fighting condition, but they need to convert this into eliminations.
They do, but for the United States, this is great. They haven't lost anyone here yet. They're able to get the kills they need. New Zealand looking for a miracle, looking for anything, and they're not getting much. Adam might fall, but the United States just a little bit away, and they're going to take this first round.
Willex did his best there. He was the saving grace of this New Zealand team. Not enough, though. And that's another thing we don't think about really with Zarya. Genji can be so good with his deflects, but you cannot deflect Zarya's primary weapon.
That crowd is excited right now, Hex. They are absolutely into this. The United States right now putting on a bit of a show, throwing New Zealand back. And now the question is, will New Zealand be able to respond with an offense of their own?
They need a little bit, I think, more out of their tanks to control space, because that was the most glaring thing to me, is that they got pushed back, and it wasn't necessarily that the United States was getting eliminations or kills even, but they just pushed them back into the early cafe on Hollywood, into the lower level there. On second point, they couldn't get out, so they need their tanks to control a little bit more space to allow their DPS the room to work.
I think part of the problem for New Zealand is that you're right in that their tanks are having trouble getting good initiations, but just on a mechanical level, the United States across the board was just better at getting early eliminations to set things on the right foot, where New Zealand is difficult for them to get an early kill, something that they could work off. You had that one moment with Willex with the Dragon Blade in the middle of Streets phase, but other than that, the United States was in firm control the entire map long. And New Zealand, if they're going to reverse course here, they need to find something else here. They certainly need to raise the level of mechanical play.
Absolutely. Now, this United States team, I mean, having talked to them, they're the perfect embodiment of this nation. They're ultra confident, bordering on cocky, and I love talking to these guys. The New Zealand team also has a great sense of national pride, and if they can tap into that passion that they showed when we spoke to them, that could be an X factor for them. Just find something, dig deep, and get in there. Right now on the defense, it is going to be a very similar composition we saw the USA run last time, but Raucus will play Ana. Raucus is an extremely versatile support player. You see anything a little out of the ordinary from the offense of New Zealand, ZP?
Well, coming out from the offense of New Zealand, no, not really. They are going to be running the offense of Sombra, though you don't always see it in Hollywood, but it can be very effective. It's going to make a big deal for them in building that early EMP, which oftentimes means that you poke in early on, go back, and charge the EMP in a process.
USA kind of messing around up front there, making them take a little bit of time. Sign's back here. He's going to try to get a little damage, and then he will translocate out. That is all that the Sombra wants to do early on. Get those packs, get the ultimate charged up.
And right now, New Zealand, they're coming into that back alleyway right now, looking for a way in the United States. They know what's coming, and they're going to be looking to set their own terms of this engagement. They're just waiting right now, giving New Zealand a little bit of room. New Zealand, they back out.
Yeah, Jake got a little bit over ambitious there. He was trying to 1v1 Sombra in the backline, which should favor Tracer unless she got hacked and he gets taken down. Fight commences.
After that early pick, now we see New Zealand able to start setting the terms of their own engagement. United States, can they fight back? It's looking unlikely. They're already down 3 players. New Zealand just needs a little bit more, but Jake, he's back in the fight. He's going to try and turn this one around.
It has been all Sombra from Sign. He has thrown a wrench in their plans. Perhaps the USA not expecting the offensive Sombra, something a little out of the ordinary. He's got ultimate ready, but if you had your druthers here, you would like to save EMP for the next fight. I think they've gotten enough that they don't have to use it, but USA is not giving this up for free.
USA is not giving it up for free, but they have very little left to give right now. It's almost captured here for New Zealand. The United States, they're diving in one more time. Sinatra moving in, but signed. It's another 2 kills for him. His Sombra so far has been great. And we'll see if the United States can bring this back. They do invest the sound barrier into this fight.
They invested sound barrier after they already forced some ultimates out of New Zealand. They knew they had free money to work with, and they will push them back off of the Graviton. They did so much damage in there. They had to use a lot, though, so now the economy is going to flip back in favor of New Zealand, but already a better defense for the United States on point A.
for the US. That was very sketchy in the beginning, but they were able to fight it back. And now for New Zealand, down to 2 minutes. This is not where you want to be when you're trying to beat the lightning fast time that USA was able to set.
And Jake's been very annoying in the back line. He's delayed them from getting out by 5 or 10 seconds each time they pushed in. Blade is ready. Sound barrier comes off, ZP.
Sound barrier's in, and here comes Willox. Dragon Blade out, looking to pierce right through. Fighting Sinatra into the cafe, slicing, but will get taken down. Still though, it's a good opening here for New Zealand. 2-1 in their favor. But look at Coolbat right now, still at full HP, still working around. He's so good for delaying for the United States right now, and let's see what he does.
Well, you get Factor Fiction in there too. That has been one of the overlooked strengths of this United States team. The EMP comes off from Sign, but is there the follow-up? There is a little bit from Huwu, able to take down one of the tank duos there. Jake actually gets the boost. You don't see a boosted Tracer too often, and that might be why.
Well, when Tracer gets boosted, she says, nobody can stop me now. Sign disagrees. Sign has been great so far for New Zealand. Really, they're rocking, keeping these fights alive, but the problem is the United States is tenacious. They're getting back onto this point, and they're about to have a Graviton, which could seal the doom here for New Zealand.
The United States had a lot of good tank players audition for this team, and a lot of people had different opinions about who should be on there. But what stood out about Fact and Matt together is they work well together. Ideally, you want your tanks to be one ultimate hero working in combination, and that's what they do so well.
All right, final opportunity right now coming up for New Zealand. This is a must-win fight, but they're going to be running into what could be a blunder. Sinatra has that Graviton up. United States can protect themselves with the sound barrier. We'll see how this one works as New Zealand begins their approach.
Sinatra's going to be the man to watch right now. Is it going to be a small battle between him and the opposing Diva? Can he get that grab off, or will it get gobbled up by the defense matrix? Factor Fiction already takes one down. They were trading back and forth, CP.
Factor Fiction gets that first kill, and now it's 5-on-5 right now. United States not able to get too much off their Graviton, but Factor Fiction still rumbling and stumbling in around the point. Gets the kill on the Cantus, and the US holding firm off of that tank play. Factor Fiction and Coolbat holding the fort. 5 seconds remaining, and this is looking like this first map will go the way of the United States.
It has absolutely been the tank show for the United States right now. Not only was it Factor Fiction, not
them just a map ago on Hollywood, they're going to stick with this triple tank setup.
Yeah, one of the reasons Jake is on this team is that he can run absolutely everything, and it allows Sinatra the flexibility to get off of the Tracer because Jake can play a good Tracer. However, New Zealand is coming out with something a little bit interesting. We'll see if they leave Spawn with it. We've got one of your favorite heroes in McCree, and they are going to run that slower tank style with a Reinhardt and a Zarya combination.
McCree can be very effective here, and Sign was showing very good mechanical play on the Sombra. I'm excited to see what he might be able to do here on everyone's favorite Cowboy. But this first fight underway. Both teams fighting for the high ground here on the Sanctum, rolling right in. It's the United States still a more dominant positioning, pushing New Zealand back. And they're going to be tearing through that Reinhardt shield sooner rather than later.
They should end up favoring the United States. They're just getting more aggressive on that shield. That shield now cracked and down, and you see Sinatra take that Q to run in. However, Sign already showing up, sealing and delivering, takes down Jake right away.
Jake underestimating that McCree. That gives New Zealand an edge here. New Zealand now moving up, 6 versus 5. United States, they have to back up and give this respect. Now they're down. Fact Fiction, this is big for New Zealand as they catch the United States a bit off guard.
Very patient, punishing the United States aggression, able to catch it on, and now Jake has switched off of that Tracer. Now that he's seen the McCree, of course that's Tracer's natural counter with the flashbang, able to stop flankers dead in their tracks. Jake's going to go over to the 76, also a very good hero on this particular stage.
Yeah, Jake right now, he does not want to fight that McCree straight up, but somehow the United States able to come back in and retake the point despite the decent start of New Zealand. But they're going to come in here with the Graviton Surge. Immediately answered by Rockets, who built up the Transcendence. United States very healthy. The Graviton not going to do quite what they want. And for now, the United States controlling a good amount of space.
It was an interesting Graviton there. They are starting to use some ultimates on the side of New Zealand to try to bring this fight back. Now with Matt out of the fight, it opens things up for their McCree. But Blade comes out for Will, does not find what he's looking for, gets beamed down by Sinatra.
And here's the problem right now for New Zealand is that even when they are getting good kills or not getting full control of the fight, United States is able to keep fights alive that they might be at a disadvantage of. And when they get an advantage, they crush through New Zealand. This has been a problem for them so far. And now look at Sinatra, creeping, waiting, stalking, and there's a Graviton that picks up everyone on the New Zealand side. Will the follow through be there? They're able to sustain, at least for now.
Now, it's a great reaction there by Birdie. He dropped the sound barrier, able to keep his entire team alive, so he completely negated that all, but they're not able to escape quickly enough, and that is a triple-digit energy Zarya. That makes things just go away. It's like the eraser in the paint program.
The eraser in the paint program. Too many times have I had to resort to that next, for reasons you don't want to know. But United States right now, able to keep firm control here on the Sanctum, and they're using the map terrain very well, where New Zealand oftentimes you do feel forced to go through that choke point, and the United States had a good welcoming party for them there.
They're going to go through the choke point, and Sinatra's going to have another grab waiting for him. He just used it. That's not fair, Sinatra.
Sinatra not playing by the rules anymore, and a graviton of his own going to come out, pulling in again the entire New Zealand team, and the United States is there for the fall through. It's a clean sweep. New Zealand has been liberated.
That is just dirty. And now at 90% for the United States, they're just going to go right outside the shuttle. They are popping visors right outside. A statement position here from the USA. No way that New Zealand could even get out and touch this point. The United States will take the first stage of Nepal.
The crowd, Hex, is loving it right now. That's just round one right now, and the United States making a statement here early on. New Zealand isn't able to reverse course here into this next round. What we might see is a very quick 2-0 to open up this group stage.
Yeah, some great signs out there, and we did see J Cap's suit right there. J Captain America, if you will. That's a good looking suit. Really getting into the spirit of things. Such a great event, that the nationalism, just a great showcase for Overwatch, meeting all these teams. New Zealand, as passionate as they are and as good as they want to show up, have to dig a little deeper here because that was a rough stage for them.
It was very rough, and again, one thing I will continually point to is what Sinatra was doing on Zarya was practically unfair. You're not supposed to get gravitons that quickly.
You're not.
Perhaps good news for New Zealand, but perhaps not. We will see a swap up to the United States, no longer at triple tank, now going a double flanker composition to open up the shrine.
I don't know if I'd ever call Sinatra on Tracer good news for anyone. One of the most dominant Tracers in all of the scene. Jake's going to swap over to Genji. They're showing the versatility of this team, and already a beautiful initiation from Fact Fiction. Takes down both support heroes. He gets 3 eliminations, 4 eliminations right off the bat from Fact.
I thought Winston was supposed to give some sort of sign when he was raging out there, because Fact Fiction, no ultimate required, getting 4. Very good opening here from the United States. And now they are in firm control here yet again. New Zealand already on the back foot.
It's been difficult overall for New Zealand to find entry, even Hollywood, and now again on Nepal. This is a more wide open map. They have choices to come in, and just where is their initiation going to come from? Who is their first dive target, and can they get that opening elimination to start the fight?
Well, New Zealand right now, they're looking for the way in, but they're not being decisive. The United States poking them from all ends. They get signed early on, and now there's blood in the water. The United States moving in. They have no chill here whatsoever. Deep diving into New Zealand territory.
You know what's funny is I think Sinatra gets gravitons quicker than he gets pulse bombs.
I don't understand, but you were correct.
That doesn't seem right. All right, so New Zealand needs to find something here to go in on. And on Hollywood, it was Willex's blade. He's going to be near that dragon blade again. He was shut down here and there, but that has been a decisive factor for them in some of these fights.
Well, speaking of blades right now, Jake has his blade armed and at the ready, and we know that he's very good at executing with those blades. Sinatra's already down, so it's up to Jake. And oh my goodness, Cantus shuts that down immediately. New Zealand perhaps finding some life here on the shrine.
They do get 3 eliminations. They are cleaning up the rest of it. It's just going to be Fact. He's going to pop Primal Rage. Now, this is smart. He's all alone. It's 1v6, but Primal Rage gives you 1,000 HP, able to stall it out on the point. You're going to trade ultimates for percentage points there. That's what Fact Fiction's doing. And also buys a little time for Sinatra to get back up. They're fine staggering onto this point because they're still in control of the point.
The United States, yes, they might end up losing this here, but they're forcing New Zealand to use them their whole biggest rockets. Has nothing of it. Plays footsie right in Willis' face, and the United States coming right back in. Nothing for free. The motto right now for the USA.
Best melee in the game, bar none. Best melee in the game. A monk boot to the dome, takes him down, and all off the back of Fact Fiction using Primal Rage. USA is almost going to take this map.
New Zealand had 5 ultimates up there and positioning. You shouldn't lose this, but they are. United States coming right in, cruising right through. They're going to hold on. Overtime ticking away, and that will be the United States taking Nepal.
He talked a little bit about the mechanical play of the United States, but right there you saw the intelligence and the strategy of the United States.